Here's an AI agent using the AWS Strands SDK running on a ROS2 robot on a Raspberry Pi. Computer, what's the capital of Japan?
Tokyo is the capital of Japan.
Stick around and I'll show you how I did it. He's getting quite heavy now, so I just need to put him on the floor in case he falls over. Right, so let me show you a quick diagram. So I have a ROS2 package called sensors, and then inside that package I have 3 different nodes. So going from left to right, I've got the ears node, and what that does is it uses open wake word to listen for a wake word. So as you saw in the intro, when I said computer, that was when it kicked into life. And then after it gets that wake word, it then listens for a period of time for audio, and if there's a silent period, I think it's about 1.5 seconds, then that knows it's the end of the speech, so it chops at that point. And then it passes that audio through OpenAI's Whisper library, and that transcribes the audio into text. When it's got the text, it will put that onto a topic. The brain is then listening to that topic, and it takes the prompt and it passes it through the Strands agent. Now, I did initially have Strands pointing to Ollama in a Docker container on the Pi using the Tiny Llama model, but I found that the responses were taking almost 30 seconds to come back. I tried a whole bunch of different things trying to update the system prompt to tell it to be very short and snappy, keep it to a couple of words, 1 sentence max. I even limited tokens as well, but I just couldn't get it below about 15 to 20 seconds. And even then, the responses were pretty terrible, to be honest, not what I wanted. So I gave up on the idea of trying to do everything local, and I just pointed it at Haiku on Bedrock, and it comes back in a couple of seconds now, which is perfect. I was kind of and ahhing about, should this be all on device? Should it be all off device? But then I realized this is a hobby robot. I'm using it at home. There's Wi-Fi coverage. I need Wi-Fi anyway to look at the Foxglove stats, so why not just go out to an external model? So that's why I did that. And then when we get the response from Strands Agent, we put that onto another topic, and that goes to the mouth node, and then that just has Piper text-to-speech that just plays that back as sound, as you heard there. So that in a nutshell is how it works. I'll put a link down below to my repository. You can go take whatever you need from there. Just give us a thumbs up or a comment before you do, just to say thanks. But yeah, it's all in there. Take what you need. Let's have a quick look at how the code works. I'm not going to go through every single line because I'll link the repository down below so you can go and read that in your own time, but I just want to sort of point out some high level stuff of how it works. So at the top, we've got a tool here. This is from Strands. I'm not currently using that, but I am planning to add in MCPs later on. So I can say drive forward 1 meter, and it would know how to convert that natural language into the commands for the drive controller to move the robot backwards and forwards. So subscribe if you want to see that, because I'll try and solve that in the next couple of months. So a bit of setup. Where are we subscribing to? Where are we publishing? Some Bedrock configuration. Just note that if you are going to use a model on Bedrock, you can't just dump in the model name that you see on Amazon. You have to have the actual prefix. So mine is APAC, Asia Pacific. There is a command in AWS CLI to get that. It's list something. I don't know. You'd have to Google it, but yeah, you need to get the right model ID. System prompt. So this system prompt will come before any of your user prompts. So this just tells it for every prompt that comes in, you're a robot voice assistant, keep it short, keep it snappy, no disclaimers, examples, all that stuff. Logging. So this is the actual Strands part of the code. So I'm setting up a Bedrock model here, and then I'm setting up a Strands agent here, and these are the tools that I'm passing it in. Like I said, not really using those at the moment. And then we have some functions to handle the input. We put everything onto a background thread so we can move on with the next prompt. And where is it? We process the prompt at some point. Have I missed that maybe? Extract text. Yeah, I might miss that. But anyway, it passes the prompted into Bedrock, gets a response, and then passes that onto the topic for the mouth to speak. So I'll link it down below. You can go and have a look at that yourself. So getting Strands onto the ROS environment was an absolute bloody nightmare. I spent all weekend fighting against this. So hopefully I can save you guys some pain if you want to play with Strands. So I don't think it was anything wrong on Amazon's behalf. I think this problem was more around how ROS deals with its different dependencies. So you've got the system dependencies that come from ROS, you've got the user dependencies that come from the nodes, you've got stuff from apt, you've got stuff from pip. I just couldn't get it working together nicely. So I first started by using ROSDEP. So I've got another video that shows you how to do this. I'll put it up here or whichever side it is. So I've got my own branch of ROSDEP, and that allows me to add in additional pip dependencies so I can then import them into the package.xml. So I did that with Strands Agents and Strands Agents Tools, which are the two pip dependencies. You can see them here in my package.xml. So I put those two in. Now, when I tried to do the ROSDEP install, it was pulling down those dependencies from pip correctly, installing them, but I don't know if there was a sub-dependency somewhere down the tree of that, but it was trying to uninstall a dependency called zip, Z-I-P-P, and it was getting an error from that, which basically means it would roll back and it wouldn't finish installing Strands. Now, I couldn't find any way of ignoring that. When you're using ROSDEP, you don't have the option to sort of do anything about that. You can't say skip that dependency and carry on. So the second thing I did was I said, okay, well, let's try and use virtual environments instead. So I set up a virtual environment in the root of the robotics workspace. I activated the environment, pip installed all the requirements that I needed from the requirements.txt file, and then I tried to do colcon build. That seemed to work okay, but then when I launched the ROS package, it would fail to launch the brain node because it couldn't find the Strands module. So this led me to believe that it wasn't using the virtual environment, it was using like the system environment from Python. And I narrowed it down to, in the install directory where your compiled stuff goes, in the shebang, it was pointing to the Python from user bin. So it wasn't actually using my virtual environment. And I could not find a way of fixing this other than just modifying the compiled code, which I didn't really want to do. If you Google it, you'll find numerous threads on Reddit and so on where people are complaining about how they can't get virtual environments working. I did everything in the ROS2 documentation, but just could not get that working. So I figured, okay, let's go back to ROSDEP. So I went back to ROSDEP, tried it again. But the crux of it is I needed this parameter on ROSDEP. That wasn't completely obvious to me at start. But when you do ROSDEP install, I noticed that when ROSDEP install runs, a couple of lines later, you'll see it making a call to pip install. But what it does is it does sudo pip install, and then it does like a -u, which I think is update. And that's what was getting down to the deb package to try and uninstall zip. So I found that if you say don't do it as root, it didn't try to remove that, which meant it could finish the Strands install. So yeah, if you're struggling to get this working for Strands, or maybe there's some other dependency you're struggling with, try this. That might help you. And then after that, I was able to start the node up. Imports are fine. Just one more thing I want to point out on this video is around the Strands models that you can use. So I have opted to use the Bedrock model here. If you do want to use a local model, you can cut this out and you can point that to a local model instead. So you can point that to Llama running in Docker, and then you can go into that Docker container and just pull whatever model you want to use from the Llama website. But like I said earlier in the video, I didn't have great experience with the performance on that, which is why I use Bedrock. So if you are going to go down the Bedrock route, then just to give you a quick idea of how I did connectivity between the Pi and Amazon. So this is my sandbox account. So I went into IAM, created a user called RoboPi. The permissions, I've just given it full access to Bedrock. I know you shouldn't do that, right? You should always use least privilege, but this is a hobby. I don't care. I'll take that risk. So I just give it full access for the time being because I didn't really know what parts of Bedrock I want to use. So yeah, just open it all. In terms of security creds, again, don't do this in production. Your security team will have an absolute field day with you. They will just, you will not be a favorite person. But I created some access keys. This will generate a secret access key and a secret access key ID, if that's right. And then you copy those two onto the machine and you just run AWS configure from the command line and then just paste in those two values and then off you go. The trouble with those is they're long-lived credentials. So if they do get leaked, if your Amazon AWS credentials file gets, uploaded into GitHub or whatever, and someone else gets those keys, they can just run havoc in your account. So definitely make sure you don't upload those. And I have not done that on my project. So don't even look. They're not there. But that's fine for a hobby project. So that's how I enabled connectivity between the two, and then Strands was able to run with no issues. So there we have it. There is Strands running on the robot. I haven't done a video on robots lately. I've been pretty busy doing some other side quests and different things I'm trying to work on at the moment. So I haven't picked up the robot in a few months. I don't even know if I've shown the latest update. I basically redid all the electronics. There's a perf board in there. I just made it easier to plug and play things. I do have some lights on here too. I have those LED noodles. So when you say the wake words, they'll flash and then they'll change color when it's finished listening and when it's processing. It just makes it a bit better, but I haven't plugged those back in yet. LiDAR on top. So stick around if you want to see more about Strands. I'm planning to do quite a bit more with that. Now I've thrown out the idea of trying to keep everything on device and I'm starting to delegate out to Amazon. I want to create some MCP tools for the agent. So like I said earlier, I want to try and manipulate the drive controller so I can say drive forward 1 meter and then it knows how to convert that natural language into whatever it needs on the drive controller nodes and topics. I haven't really played with Slam yet. I did the LiDAR, got that into Foxglove, but I haven't done anything more, so I'll be doing that as well with Strands. What else am I going to do? Yes, visual stuff. So initially I wanted to keep everything on device and I was going to use the Pi AI hat to try and do sort of object detection and tracking, so I could sort of track a human and move around and follow them and that kind of stuff. Again, topic for another video, but trying to get the Halo software working on Ubuntu was, again, just another nightmare. Everything's dependency hell. Like, I wish people would just give you Dockers. It'd make life so much easier. I've thrown away that idea for the time being. But on the VLM side, I want to take images from the camera and then send those into Bedrock. They do have a VLM model now. Is it Nova Sonic or is that the voice one? I forget. They announced one at Amazon reInvent. I forget what it was. I want to take images, send them to the cloud, see if I can get it to sort of, detect what items are there. So I can say, hey, computer, what items can you see in front of you? And it would just tell me in natural language. Those are the sort of things that I want to play around with. I've also ordered some more robots because I don't have enough on my plate as it is. So I've got a static robotic arm that moves around and does stuff. So I'm going to try and do some things with that. And then I've also got a hexapod as well. So if you're interested, stick around. I'm going to do loads more videos when I get time. But yeah, that's the problem. Not enough hours in the day. I've jabbered on enough. So until next time, stay curious and keep learning.